We've all heard that classic saying, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Often gets pinned on Einstein, right?
Yeah, that's a common thought, but it's likely not him. The, quote, investigator actually points towards, well, groups like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous back in the early 80s.
Oh, interesting. That's a great clarification, but, well, whoever said it first, the idea itself really hits home, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It resonates because we see it.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive into why. Why do we get stuck in these loops, these ineffective patterns? We want to look at the hidden causes behind it all.
And then draw some clear conclusions on how to actually foster improvement, real growth.
Yes. We're aiming to give you, our listener, a bit of a shortcut today. A shortcut to understanding why we sometimes sabotage ourselves or why things just don't improve, and maybe what to do about it.
Sounds good. Where should we start?
Well, let's start inside our own heads. Mindset seems like a really fundamental piece of this puzzle.
Definitely. And the big distinction here is that idea of a fixed versus a growth mindset.
Right?
So a fixed mindset that's believing your basic qualities like how smart you are just set in stone, permanent.
And that belief itself becomes a cause of problems.
Precisely. It causes people to give up easily when things get tough. They might see constructive feedback as, well, a personal attack.
Ouch. Yeah.
And they genuinely believe they can't change. So naturally, that leads straight to stagnation.
Okay, so the flip side is the growth mindset.
Exactly. The belief that, your abilities can be developed through dedication, through hard work. Failure isn't the end.
It's information.
It's an opportunity to learn. Yeah, this internal belief is really crucial. It's a direct cause for embracing challenges, for persisting.
It makes sense. Beyond mindset, though, there are also these behaviors we do, self-defeating ones.
Oh, absolutely. These are actions, sometimes conscious, sometimes not, that actively move you away from what you say you want.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Well, procrastination is a huge one, really harsh self-criticism, refusing help when it's offered, even sabotaging relationships when things seem to be going well.
Why do we do that?
Often it's a defense mechanism, trying to stay in a comfort zone, maybe, or sometimes it comes down to a lack of self-confidence. But whatever the reason, these behaviors are direct causes preventing growth.
It's almost like our own minds set traps for us.
That's a great way to put it. There are these hidden psychological traps in decision-making, sort of like hardwired flaws in how we think.
Okay, like what kind of traps?
Well, one big one is sunk costs. This is where you make choices, basically, to justify past decisions, even if they were bad ones. Think of a bank, maybe, that keeps pouring money into a failing business loan, not because it's smart now, but to protect the earlier decisions they made. It causes you to throw good money after bad.
I can see that.
What else? There's the confirming evidence trap. This is our bias, our tendency to seek out information that just supports what we already believe.
And ignore anything that challenges it.
Exactly, which of course kills objective analysis. It's a major cause of poor decisions staying in place.
Wow.
And then there's the status quo trap. We have this really strong bias towards options that just keep things the way they are.
Because change is hard or risky.
Both. Breaking from the status quo often means taking action, taking responsibility. That opens you up to criticism if it goes wrong. So inaction feels safer even if change is needed. It causes us to stay stuck.
So these traps, along with the fixed mindset and self-defeating behaviors, these are the underlying causes we're talking about.
Yeah, they're the root causes of why we repeat ineffective actions personally or even in organizations.
Okay, understanding the causes is one thing, hugely important. But then, how do we actually break free? How do we move towards improvement? What are the conclusions here?
Well, it's not about just thinking about it. Effective solutions need a plan of action.
Right.
The basic steps are pretty clear. You define the problem properly, brainstorm alternatives, choose a solution, and then, crucially, implement it.
Are there specific techniques?
Yeah, things like working backward can be really powerful. You start with the end goal, where you want to be, and then map steps back to where you are now, or means-end analysis, breaking a big problem into smaller, manageable steps. These structured approaches act as causes for getting different results.
And this applies to organizations too, like on a bigger scale.
Absolutely. For organizations, there are structured continuous improvement methodologies. Think Lean, Six Sigma, Kaizen.
Those terms get thrown around a lot.
They do, but they represent real frameworks. They provide structure to improvement efforts, help standardize processes, and promote systematic problem solving. They cause positive change when implemented properly.
And what are the tangible benefits, the conclusions of using these?
You see increased efficiency, definitely reduced waste and costs, better quality products or services, and often a stronger culture overall, one of innovation and focusing on the customer.
So it's tools, but also mindset again, culture.
Exactly. Continuous improvement isn't just a toolkit, it's a state of mind. Leaders need to cause this culture by setting a clear vision, committing resources.
And employees.
Employees cause it by participating, by identifying problems on the ground, suggesting solutions. It has to be a collective effort.
So let's bring this together for everyone listening. This deep dive, it really highlights that understanding the causes, the psychological reasons we get stuck, whether it's mindset or own unhelpful behaviors, or these decision traps. That's the critical first step.
And the conclusion really is that we can break these cycles by consciously using structured problem solving, by embracing these continuous improvement ideas. We can actually create real sustainable growth.
It reminds me of that Samuel Beckett quote, maybe a better counterpoint than the insanity one. Ever tried, ever failed, no matter. Try again, fail better.
That's it. It's not about just repeating blindly. It's iterative improvement, trying differently because you learn something from the failure.
So, here's a final thought for you. Thinking about all these potential causes, what's one small, maybe self-defeating behavior, or perhaps a decision trap you recognize that you could choose to challenge or approach differently starting today?
And now is the perfect time to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for being with us. See you soon in the next